He was a superstar, rivaling Arnold and Stallone in the arena of action films. But then, things changed. After a series of career setbacks and public displays of bad behavior, Jean-Claude Van Damme grew weary. One night, at an LA eatery, seemingly at the end of his rope, Jean-Claude grabbed the camcorder of paparazzi professional Steve Broderson.
And I'm like, what are you doing, man? Let go of the camera. Why are you filming me? Why are you filming me? I'm like, you're a star. That's why I'm filming you. You know, you've dealt with this before. What's the problem? He starts telling me that he's just a normal guy. I'm not a star. I'm just a normal guy. Hit me. Hit me. He puts his chin out like, you know, I'm going to attack him. So I just tell him to let go of my camera, and he starts twisting the camera, and I can hear the camera start to break. So I'm like, what are you doing? Let go of the camera. So he ends up just breaking the whole front end of my camera off. So I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Proving that he indeed had the strength of a martial arts champion, Jean-Claude gripped the metal face of the camera, crushing its casing as he twisted the lens. The result was a machine that looked ready for the trash heap.
I looked down at the video screen, and somehow it was still taping. So I go running up to him, and I'm like, you just broke my camera. What are you doing? Stay here. I'm calling the police. This is a $3,000 camera. You owe me for this camera. Oh, my eyes are very sensitive to the light. Look at my camera.
You blind me, sir. I cannot see
I
nothing.
didn't blind shit.
I wasn't able to come out of the driveway.
I was standing in the corner. They're guiding
an accident.
No, look at this.
You put the light on my face. You blind me, sir. When I was driving outside the...
Then someone that he was with comes over and starts saying that I'm insulting him and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm sitting here 30 feet away from him, and he comes over and breaks my camera. I did not approach him at all. He came up to me, as you can see on the tape. And so now all his friends are saying that I'm very rude when he just came up and broke my camera for no reason and starts telling me I'm not a star. I'm just a normal guy.
No, I'm not a celebrity. I'm a normal guy.
No, you're a celebrity. Well, not anymore. Your career's going nowhere. But look at this, dude. I could make you a celebrity.
At the time, Van Damme's behavior was something of a mystery to Steve. For even though Jean-Claude was going through a difficult period in his life, it seemed very strange and quite extraordinary to see the star approach with such extreme measures.
He was really weird that night. I don't know what was going on with him. I've taped him before. One of the first times I ever taped him, I was at a restaurant, and I asked him,
how do you feel about the paparazzi with all this Tony Danza situation?
You know what? I like paparazzi.
We like you.
Without them, I will not be here today.
You're 100% right, Mr. Van Damme.
Right here. How are you? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Nice evening.
He knew, and I think he still does know, that the paparazzi get his picture out there and let his fans see what's going on. But for some reason that night, he just snapped and tried to claim that he was a normal guy, and why am I taping him? I don't understand what happened that night.
Tell me that. Don't break.
Imagine if I, because of your fault, what is your name, sir? If I hit somebody on the street, it's your fault.
You hit somebody because you're drunk.
Yeah, look at this. Let's take
Okay.
Often being the case in such matters, things grew worse before they got better. As words and accusations flew between the paparazzi and the star, the law was pulled into the fray. Before long, cops would be hearing two different stories.
After that, there were two police officers on motorcycles that Jean-Claude went over to try and plead his case. I don't know what was said to him, but I went to the police officers and said, hey, this guy just broke my camera. I want you to do something about it. And the police officers there were like, oh, we're traffic duty. You have to call the police. So I called 911. Or I called information and then called the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I'm down at Algo Restaurant on Melrose, and I'm a photographer, and Jean-Claude Van Damme just broke my camera.
Attacked you.
He's still down here. Is there any way you can get anyone down here real quick?
Later, Steve would hear of a series of possibilities that might have led to explaining Jean-Claude's behavior after the incident. Possibilities involving money, women, and the law.
He ended up, for some reason, he was originally leaving the restaurant in his Bentley with a girl, but when he left the restaurant after the incident, he jumped into another Mercedes by himself, and another guy left with the girl. So from what I hear, someone that was standing around and heard him talking said, oh, I don't want him to see me in a Bentley because then he'll know I have a lot of money. Like I'm going to go sue him or something for millions of dollars.
Whatever the reason for switching cars and leaving alone, Jean-Claude Van Damme drove away from the restaurant, leaving a broken camera, a few dozen witnesses, and a baffled paparazzi photographer who was still trying to figure it out.
And I already saw him in the Bentley, but he tried to pull a quick one and, I'm going to leave in a Mercedes. So I don't know what the deal was, but he took off and the police came down and filed a report.
Despite the gravity of the situation, Steve would later give Jean-Claude the benefit of the doubt, feeling that Van Damme might have been under the strain of legal problems that were a part of his life on that fateful night.
Most of the times that I've seen Jean-Claude, even after the incident when he broke my camera, we saw him a week or two later at a club, and he's, praising us. Oh, the paparazzi are great. You would never do a bad story on me. And it's like, before the incident, he praised the paparazzi. After the incident, he praised the paparazzi. But for some reason, that night, he snapped.
Yeah, those are good people. They want to make me look good, right? You know what, guys? You've got the choice in life. To make money with good, to make money with bad. And I know you make me look good. John, I'm doing money.
And I don't know what the deal was. That night, it was funny because he'd already gotten a DUI for driving drunk down Sunset. And he told me that, with my light taping him when he came out of the restaurant, he didn't want to injure any people or run over anyone. And I'm thinking to myself, well, then don't go driving drunk, and that's the least of his concerns if he's getting DUIs, blaming me for having him pull out of a parking lot at 2 miles an hour and kill someone. So I don't know what goes on with him.
Due to Van Damme being on probation at the time, the police told Steve that he could file serious charges against the actor. Charges such as
felony vandalism and felony, trying to disturbing the peace because he was trying to get me to hit him.
So now, the paparazzi and the star were headed to a new arena, the courtroom.